Yo, what's going on, YouTubers, gamers and fellow hobbyists? Welcome to this week's edition of P&Q, which is my question and answer series where you get to ask me questions or make comments and I will respond the following week. Now you can do this one of two ways. Pop your questions or comments down below in the comment section, or you can email me at miniwarzone@gmail.com and I'll leave a link in the description below this video. I've got a couple of emails. And I've got one, actually a question just came in, which is why I'm doing this later today. And I'll see if I can start with this. So an extra email, is it? So this is professional, isn't it? This is professionalism. Or it might just be an extra comment on my video. Yes, here we go. Actually, it was on the video for my YouTube channel of the week, and it comes from Mr. Mini Dreams. It says, "Thanks, Paul. I'm Pete, but you got the pup right. That's all right." It says, "This is a great channel." He's talking about Chevy Cheeseburger. Great channel. I recommended it today. It's awesome. I love his optimism. Hey, I know you do the P&Q. I enjoy watching them. My question is, I am an automotive builder, but want to do some figures, but not a gamer or war buff. I like dragons and... God, I wish it would put the whole comment up, you know. I like dragons and skulls. Have you done anything like these? And or could you recommend who I should look to for the best bang for my buck? I want to attempt to venture out to other factions of the hobby. Enjoy your channel. Have a great day. Mini. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Mini Dreams. Best bang for your buck. It depends also. Well, a lot of it depends on what scale you want to do. Yes, I've done other stuff. If you're looking to do the kind of 28 or 30mm scale, maybe Reaper Bones, because they do kind of different size stuff as well. They do kind of dragony stuff and skull stuff. If you want to do that, and you can get the models and just paint them up, and that's really cool. Obviously, Games Workshop is not the best bang for your buck. But they're certainly amongst the best miniatures that you can buy. I personally think, detail-wise and all that kind of thing. So it depends what sort of thing you want to go for and how big. You can interchange them as well. For instance, I'm looking to do. I'll let you guys know now, for my October this year, I'm looking to build an orc bomber like they have on Mini Wargame, a big orc bomber, and I've found the perfect one in my local gaming store. I haven't got it yet. I have to wait till I save some pennies for that one. But that's a good bang for your buck. It's 22 quid, and I can get it's a big thing to build, a Revel kit, and I'm gonna make that and orcify it and do my orcs with that for October. That'll probably be my main project for October. So I'm going to do that. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. I do other stuff. I do not a lot, I admit. It's because the time factor. I do Revel, Airfix, and I'm staring at them now. Plastic Soldier, that kind of thing. I got tanks there. There is a Spitfire there. It's not big enough for my orcs, but I am looking to kind of mix and match that, and I'm gonna make it my own. But thank you for your question. You say you're not into the wargaming, so I'm guessing that's not what you're asking. What game system could you get into? And yeah, so model wise though, maybe Reaper Bones, because they do quite a lot of different models, particularly fantasy stuff, which is good. plastic as well, so nice and easy to work with, but you don't need to assemble them. Looking to assemble, that's a tricky one. I mean, of course, with Games Workshop, you don't need to be into the games. You don't have to. I love the fantasy stuff for Warhammer, but I don't play Warhammer. I only play 40k, so any models or miniatures I get for the fantasy stuff, I'll probably put back for when I play Dungeons and Dragons and use it for that, or just collect it and have it nicely displayed on my display cabinets or sideboard or whatever, you know. So yeah, other than that, I can't be any more help for you, I'm afraid, unless anybody else wants to chip in. That's fine. So let's get on with the emails. But yeah, once again, thank you for your question. Email I had says, and as you know, emails are anonymous. Well, they just are. Hey, great P&Q. I'd like to ask you where you were when you took the picture that you used for your thumbnail of P&Qs. Do you mean the one that's kind of like that? Or was it like that? I can't remember now. That was in the old Mini Warzone, my old room, which is now the pink powder room, which is Mrs. Mini Warzone's walk-in wardrobe. But it's very pink in there now. It hits you, the pinkness of it, when you go in. And yeah. Okay, next one says, hi Peter, here's a few questions for your next P&Q. If a new order of government emerged on Earth, similar to the Warhammer 40,000 Imperium of Man, with all its hallmark modi operandi, xenophobia, dogma, repression, but also order, advancement and stability, and was led by a leader that seemed uncannily divine, would you 1. Join the Imperium's ranks with great zeal? 2. Join the Imperium's ranks out of fear? Or 3. Be a heretical partisan, and though it is futile, resist as best you can. Bring it on. Number 3. Because I couldn't live in a world like that of repression. I don't care who's leading it, that's not the way I want to live my life, and if we're not careful, that's the way the world is really going. We're heading for world government, you mark my words. Yeah, so if we're not careful, that's where we'll end up. But yes, I would resist it all the way. All the way. Okay, another part to this says, you have said before that you're interested in philosophy. To what, if any, major schools of thought would you say you belong to? None really, none in particular. Just you know, the search for wisdom and all that kind of stuff. What is it he said is in Roadhouse? The character Dalton. He gets asked that very question, and she says the nurse or the doctor says to him, so it says you know you're into philosophy. What any particular discipline? He says, no, not really. Just mankind's search for faith. That sort of shit. That's what he says. So that. Also, another part of it here. What are your 3 most loved works of classic English literature? Lord of the Rings, because that is classed as classic literature now. So Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Not obviously not the first book I read, but it's one of the first books I read. Without pictures, I mean. Yeah, that's me. Jump straight in the deep end. Bram Stoker, Dracula, because I like the gothic feel of that. And A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens. That was a novella as opposed to a novel, but yeah. So Lord of the Rings, Dracula, and A Christmas Carol. It's easier to think of authors rather than actual books, but yeah. But anyway, okay, so that's all the emails out of the way. Now, Spider666, hey there. He said, great vid as always, brother. Thanks for your answer. And you asked a question, of course, on your chat brew, and a big black dog who likes his encores. And you asked, said, if you could make any part of a hobby of yours into a business, would you take that chance to do so? And what part of that hobby would it be? I tried to do it once with my music. Well, I didn't try to do it. I did it. Did it for a while with the band, and we were playing parties, functions, that kind of thing, as well as pubs, clubs, and all that. So that was our business then, and it took a bit of the enjoyment out of it, I have to say. Some days you didn't feel like lumping all that gear around and setting up, and with a hobby, when anything's a hobby, you can choose to do it at your leisure, when and where you like, provided you're able. You can choose to do it when you want to do it. When something becomes a business, you're kind of more on a schedule and you've got to do stuff. It's that taking that freedom of choice away from you, that you have to do this now because it's your business. It takes away some of the enjoyment. I'm telling you, it does. Would I do it with this hobby, this modelling, painting, building and gaming hobby? Probably not. I'm happy using it as my therapy. That said, I wouldn't be against working in the industry for this hobby. I could see myself as a writer or something of that description, or even just working in a game store. That would be cool. I think on a part-time basis, I could see myself doing that. No, I don't think. Possibly, maybe. Nah, I was going to say possibly open a gaming club, which I was going to do anyway. But we've got a couple down here. Even though I'm like, nah. I'm much happier just being me, myself, and doing it for fun. So yeah. As soon as things become business, they stop being enjoyable a lot of the time, or as enjoyable. It may seem like great to start with, and then after a while you're thinking, I don't fancy doing it today, but I've got to. And then you start to resent it, and you think, that's just my experience. Next is Heresy Productions. Said, great chat, Pete. How would you consider your brush care? -fu, not sure what you mean by that, but on brush care. How would you consider your brush care? I find, although I know tricks and tips to clean them and preserve them, I still get lazy and have to replace brushes here and there every few months. There's no, I don't have any magical formula, but I rarely have to replace brushes. I've still got the old Citadel Games Workshop brushes, and a lot of them are still fine, absolutely fine. They seem to last better than the newer GW ones, but I have a variety of makes of brushes I use. Daler and Rowney's, Windsor and Newton, and some of the cheaper ones you can buy in your local hobby craft stores, for things like, particularly things like when I paint metal models, I tend to veer towards synthetic bristles as opposed to the natural ones, but I like to use proper ones, the natural ones for plastics more. They just feel better when they're going on. But I rarely do I need to change my brush. Obviously I do eventually, but there's nothing secret about what I do, other than the water I use to clean them is what I take from my my laundry tumble dryer. So it's been through the process of cleaning clothes. It's got all the it's had all those sort of chemicals in it and detergents and whatever, and taken them and rinsed them and taken it out. So I'm sure there's still a lingering effect of it's non-biological as well. We only use non-biological in our household because some of us are sensitive to those chemicals. But and what I do is I pour it into a large container with a tap on the bottom, and that's what I use for cleaning my brushes along with things like the Master's Brush Cleaner and Preserver. And I do have a tub of brush restorer, but I've only ever used it once since I bought it, since I've been in the hobby. So that's it. But I do clean them at the end of every day or at the end of every use. They get washed out and washed out again thoroughly, and then cleaned with the soap every time. And I find it just makes them last longer. But I'm sure it's got something to do with the water from our laundry we use. It's recycling water basically, otherwise it would just get poured down the drain, and it makes sense. I've never had to use tap water at all since been out. It's great. It thins the paints down lovely as well. I've never had a problem with it. Win-win all the way. So yes, was it Chris from Mini War Gaming says sometimes on Wear the Brush, take care of your brushes and they will take care of you. And he's right. Absolutely right. Crew Orange Lasilicus. Mike says, nice P&Q. I was wondering how the airbrushing is going. I haven't seen any updates on this for a while. If you mean like airbrushing for beginners series, yeah, you're right. I haven't done one for a while. And perhaps I should. I have done airbrushing, not a lot to be truthful. I just haven't. This hasn't come up. I'll probably be doing some. Well, I'm going to be doing two tutorials on the tank camouflage for my Astra Militarum. I'm going to do one hand brush and one with airbrush. So look forward to that train wreck. it might turn out alright. I don't know. We'll see. Jury's still out on that one. But yeah, I should, and I would like to get around to doing another airbrushing for beginners one, if that's what you mean by that. Idic Beer. Good stuff, mate. I think I'm starting to run out of questions now, lol. Let me think. Have any YouTube channels surprised you recently? For what reason? No. Sorry, that no is the short answer. Videos surprise me. Certain videos on certain channels surprise me. But I'm talking about those strange videos I watch like late at night sometimes, like, I don't know, the top 10 celebrities you never knew were broke and things like that, you know, and I'm thinking, I watched them and go, oh wow, I didn't know that surprised me. And some of the, I don't know, just top 10 lists, things like that, and things where it reveals things about people or celebrities that you didn't know, or how badly they've aged, or whatever, you know. I think, alright, that surprises me. But channels tend not to surprise me, you know, because most of the time you've got the about section. It tells you what it's about. You can see on the introductory video, you get a kind of flavour for what it is. I speaking of introductory videos, I need to do a new one. I think I might do an updated one at some time. So if you do see that on my channel in the near future, don't be surprised. So I might do a new intro vid. I think everybody should have one. Most of us have got one now. Tattoo for You says, awesome. I need to get Zombicide. My wife might like it. Yeah, I think she probably would. Who is the first one awake every day? And what's the smallest point battle you would play in? Right. Who's the first one awake every day? That's my dogs. They tend to wake up around 5 AM ish with a few barks just to let one of us know, and I go down, that they need to go out the garden, which is fair enough. So I usually go down, I let them out the garden, do their business, and I go back to bed. Then shortly after 6 my wife will get up to get ready to go for work. I tend to get up an hour or two after that, maybe, depends what's happening. If I'm feeling poorly and I can't, then I can't. Sometimes I have to get up early. Or on occasions where there's a problem with one of our cars, you know, one of us, I drive my wife to work for whatever reason. Though she's just got a new car, so that shouldn't be a problem for a while. But there are occasions. Yeah, it varies. But usually it's the dogs around about 5 AM. They get up first. And then usually I go down and let them out, but I go back to bed. then my wife gets up. So really, my wife's the first one up properly. What's the smallest point battle you were playing? Well, it doesn't matter whether it's Warhammer, 40k, you know, whatever, bolt action. Well, I don't play bolt action now, but it doesn't matter what game I would play. I don't care. I'd play any size. I like skirmish games. The kill team stuff for 40k is awesome, and I don't get me wrong. I like a nice big game. I don't like to play too large of a game in 40k. Not that I play it that much, but I don't like to play too large of a game because it takes too long. Apocalypse games, I like to see them on video. People have done it. They're doing the hard work, you know. So I'll watch them do it. That's cool. See the layout, awesome. It cuts all the time out in between, you know, and all that. But you know, it takes ages to have a go and moving all your stuff and going through it, and then the rules, grey areas pop up, and talking through that, finding that out. You know, it just takes too long. You know, than an apocalypse game. But a normal 1500 point game, cool. I'm well cool with that. But I'm cool with a 500 point game. I'm cool with a 250 point game. I'm cool with a 50 point game. I don't care. One model on one model. Anything. I don't mind. It's all fun, and you can make it fun. Really, I like it all. I love it all. And that is the questions. So don't forget, you can pop your questions down below or email me. Thank you so much, guys, for your questions. Keep them coming. It's cool. I love doing these videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Remember, until next time, yeah, all brushes lead to war. Bye for now.